The facts remain that we have a structurally imbalanced budget. If we don't address it...
We agree. We've always agreed.
So what is the plan to address that? Because $200 million in fund balance is probably going to get the next administration maybe through Christmas, and then there's going to have to be cuts.
City Controller Chris Brown telling a somber council that the current administration has left the next one with a looming budget hole so profound it may require the layoff of more than 2,000 municipal employees. Brown's analysis underscores that of the Greater Houston Partnership, which also identified billions of dollars worth of pending liabilities.
We spent a lot of time yesterday arguing about the report. I likened that to we're arguing about the speed at which the car is heading towards the cliff.
City Budget Director Will Jones publicly acknowledged the structural imbalance, but suggested the Houston Partnership exaggerated the severity. For its part, GHP issued revisions to the report Friday, but emphasized the fundamental conclusion of the city's dangerous financial shortfall remain unchanged. Panel, Mayor Turner says he will address these serious concerns at the next council meeting. Looking forward to that, Charles. Look, you've heard arguments on both sides here, but you know what I haven't heard is the city saying, like, yeah, we got this. This is really a balanced budget. It's not.
No, it's not. It never has been. I mean, you know, they balance the budget by doing things like land sales and using ARPA, federal relief aid, and all these other things to close gaps, but it's not structurally balanced, and that's the problem, and that's a point that Controller Brown has made consistently over the past couple of years. And, you know, the mayor saying that he's leaving this $400 million surplus, and on paper that's accurate, but when you listen to his finance director, on the high end, they're saying that in 2026, it'll be a $181 million deficit, and up to 2028 will be at $244 million. And that's assuming that sales tax isn't significantly decreased, which some people expect it will, and all these other things. And so we are in a very questionable period of what the future is going to look like. And unfortunately, that conversation is not happening because they're arguing over these minute details of this report, when the underlying conclusion of the report remains the same, that the city consistently passed unstructurally, not structurally sound budgets.
Sue Lovell, capsulize this. What's the situation here? Are we in dire financial straits?
Yes, we have been. My thing is, where y'all been? I mean, you're coming in right now, a week before election, you know, bringing this news, which is not really any news, to the mayor. And look, the city council is culpable in this because they voted right along with the mayor all these years when things were happening and the alarm bell was being rung, and now you're bringing it in. Look, this is a conversation that needs to take place in the runoff for the mayor's race and the city council. What are you going to do about this? What is your idea? It doesn't matter what these people say. They made the problem, but they're not the solution.
Hey, we've got some results from our Sunday survey. The hard choices, 48% of you say cut non-essential workers. 46% say cut metro funding. Paul, are we there yet? Should we start looking at solving this physical gap?
Yeah, so when Texas had a shortfall and education had to get cut, we had to cut positions, and that's probably going to be what has to happen in the future. I think the other thing, and if Bill King were here, I know what he would be saying is there's money on the table that is being misused by Metro. It's inefficient. It isn't solving our problems, and perhaps what we should be looking at is dialing back services in Metro and moving those, shifting those funds over to this general fund deficit.
What about the tax investment reinvestment zones?
The TERS.
The TERS. Okay, I'm not going to throw that at you. No. Marcus, you've heard this, and you're a truth teller. I mean, it sounds to me like the folks in Houston have been lied to about the financial condition of their municipal government.
They've been lied to and they haven't been told the truth, right? Those are two separate things, but then they're the same. Sue was right. This is not new. This is old. I can go back to 2010, 2011, when a Moody report came out when Ron Green was the comptroller. A Moody report came out and said, Houston, you have a problem. If you do not cure these things, and specifically Moody recommended that we raise some sort of new money. If you do not cure these things, then by 2020, 2022, 2023, 2025, you will fall off of a cliff. And we ignored it. And you know who really ignored it? Every single person, every single mayor. Yes, this lands in the lap of Mayor Turner, but it lands in the lap of Mayor Parker. This lands in the lap of Mayor White, because each of these mayors participated in this and kicked the can. The problem is you kick the can down the road, there's no more road now. And that's why we're showing it on TV, and that's why we're having a discussion. And if you think about it, no other mayoral election has really talked about how we're going to cure the budget. Even if you look at now, if you watch the commercials, citizens of Houston, watch the commercials. The majority of the commercials about we're going to do this to crime, and we're going to do this to roads, and we're going to do this. One commercial, show me one commercial that talks about how they're going to fix the city budget.
Final word to you, Holly, about 30 seconds.
Okay, well, Marcus is right. You know, no one really wants to tackle the big elephants in the room, if you will. And one thing that caught my attention is Martin talking about some of the recommendations that came from a consulting group a couple of years ago. And one big problem that's looming, and it's going to continue to grow, is the structure of the pension system, because it's a defined benefit system instead of a defined contribution system. We're going to end up like the whole state of Illinois, where the debt ratio for pensions is almost 30% of their GDP.
Maybe time for 401k for new hires. I know that's a whole different discussion.